Are you interested in learning how to fix your own credit? Specifically, are you interested in learning how to remove collection accounts from your credit report? Maybe you have some medical bills from visiting the hospital or doctor that kind of went unpaid, or you may have some collection accounts from some old credit cards that you haven't paid that are still lingering and holding down your credit score. I'm going to show you 2 things you can do to get those collection accounts removed from your credit report. My name is Frances, and I am the host of 123 Credit Tea, where we gossip about everything credit. So we are going to talk about that in this episode, and I also have a news article that I want to share with you, and I also have a free goodie for you if you stick around to the end of the show. Of course, we would love to have you guys in our live studio audience, but due to COVID, we are offering an opportunity for our viewers to join us virtually. So check the description area of the show so you can RSVP to join us live virtually to be a part of our live studio audience. All right, so the show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So before we talk about collection accounts and credit and bad credit and all this good jazz, we have to discuss legitimate and scam debt collection companies. So everybody talks about how to fix your own credit. They always talk about removing negative marks from their credit report, but they don't actually tell you that sometimes those debt collectors on your credit report or sending you letters in the mail may not be a real debt collection agency, or they may be a real debt collection agency, but they don't actually own your debt. So in this news article that you'll see pop up on the screen is an article that talks a little bit about the difference between a legitimate debt collection agency and a scammer. It's an article that is available online that you can definitely go and check out. I'll put the link in the description area of the video, but it's on consumerfinance.gov, and it warns people and gives them things to look out for when it comes to debt collection scams. It talks about what a debt collection agency can and cannot do. They can't falsely threaten you or say they're going to send you to jail. Okay, you can't go to jail for unpaid debts in America. I can't talk about other countries, but in America, you can't do that. They can't threaten to, tell your family, your friends, or your employer. They won't ask you to transfer money. They can't call you at any times of the day, right? They can't call you at midnight. They can't call you at 4 o'clock in the morning. But there are some things that they can do, and you definitely want to know your rights when it comes to things like that. So before you even think about working on your credit or fixing your credit, definitely check out that article so you can get familiar about debt collection agencies, what they're able to do and what they're not able to do before you decide to make that payment. All right, so now I'm going to give you 2 things that you can do when it comes to paying off debt collections or any kind of collection accounts that's listed on your credit report. So the first thing that will happen when a collection account is about to get added to your credit report is you'll get a letter in the mail, okay? And that letter will have your name, surely your address. That's how I got there. It's going to have the name of the creditor or the company that you owe. It's going to have the name of the debt collection agency and their contact information. And pretty much a little verbiage down at the bottom that says, this is a attempt to collect the debt, and any information may be used for that purpose, or something, some type of verbiage like that, okay? And that verbiage just basically is telling you that if you voluntarily give them any kind of information that they didn't already have, they will utilize that to collect the funds, whether if it's still within the statute of limitations, if they can sue you for it, so whatever information you voluntarily give them, they will use that to collect the debt. All right. So on that letter, usually what they're supposed to do, everybody don't always follow the rules, but what they're supposed to do is send you a letter in the mail kind of warning you or giving you an opportunity to dispute the account before they actually put it on your credit report. Okay. So let's say you didn't pay your Verizon Wireless bill. I keep using Verizon Wireless in like every show. I don't know why, but I guess I have a love-hate relationship with them. But let's just say you did not pay your Verizon Wireless bill. They sent you to collections, and that account went to collections, and that collection company is contacting you to get their funds, right? They're saying, we have this debt, you owe us money, we're going to put it on your credit within 30 days, but if you do not, recognize this account, or you want to dispute the account, you have 30 days to get in contact with us. So a lot of people just get frustrated, or they get busy, right, with life, and they don't respond to that initial letter. And so once they don't get any response, they basically put it on your credit because you didn't respond. They have something called estoppel by silence, okay? And so what that really means is you basically admit guilt by silence, okay? So I'm not a lawyer, okay? So I'm not, interpreting any type of law. You definitely want to get with a lawyer if you want to interpret that. But basically, if you don't respond, you keep silent, they assume that you know this is a legitimate debt, and they pop it on your credit report. Okay, so if you get those type of letters in the mail, you have 30 days to respond. Type out a letter and respond to them to dispute the account. A lot of times they don't respond back to your dispute, or they don't have the information that you're requesting to validate the dispute, and they end up either not putting it on your credit report or removing it off later. Which brings me into my second point, which is, if there's already a collection account reporting on your credit report, maybe you've already gotten that letter, maybe the letter, you missed it, you forgot about it, whatever, and there's accounts on your credit report already, collection accounts, medical bills, charge-off accounts, right? And you didn't respond to the letter, and it's on your credit report. So now what do you think you're supposed to do? Well, definitely don't whip out your credit or debit card or your checking account and send a payment, okay? Because just because a debt collection company has your name, your address, and your phone number in some company that you may have done business with does not necessarily mean that they're a legitimate company, okay? Case in point, if you've done business with Verizon Wireless and you threw that bill in the trash, and some people have gone through the trash and they found a bill with your name and your address on it, right? They can go and type up a letter, Microsoft Word document, ABC Collection Agency, P.O. Box, blah, 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 right? Put your name, your address, your account number, Verizon Wireless, and a balance, and say, you got 30 days to pay me. And if you don't, I'm going to put it on your credit. You have to do your due diligence to make sure that that company is a legitimate company by doing step 2, which is a validation request. So what that means is you're going in and asking them if this is a valid debt, that they need to provide you with proof. Okay? So regardless if the account is already on your credit, or if you received a letter in the mail and it's not yet on your credit, you want to ask them to validate the debt. And when you validate the debt with them, Them just sending you a bill in the mail saying you owe $536 is not them providing you with solid proof, okay? So don't get caught up with that, okay? The second thing you need to remember when you're asking for proof of the debt is to make sure that you are responding and having correspondence with the collection agency in the mail, in writing only, okay? Phone calls can be a little bit tricky, okay? Because you can end up giving more information than you initially were wanting to, or you can end up giving them information that can help them collect on the debt from you. So sometimes they may call you and say, hey, can you verify your date of birth? Can you verify your address? Can you verify your social security number? Well, if these people are contacting you to get money from you, shouldn't they already have that information? And why should you have to validate it? Right? So you may be giving them your date of birth and your social and your address, which was some information that they may have been missing in order to put it on your credit report. So you have to be very careful when you're having a conversation with the debt collector, because they're trained to get more information than they already have. They're trained to get you to admit to the debt. They're trained to get some type of payment arrangement from you. Okay? So you have to be very careful. I highly recommend, I've been in the credit industry for over 7 years, and I tell everybody, all of my clients, anybody that's ever worked with me, do not speak with the debt collector over the phone. The mail is the only strategic way that will work in your favor. Not just because they're going to get information from you that they didn't already have, but the second issue is you don't have any proof of any type of conversation that you did have. So let's say that you wanted to pay the debt after the validation process, and they say they're going to give you a discount, or they're going to give you some type of incentive to do so. Once the money is collected and the debt is paid, they don't have any proof that you had that type of settlement or arrangement. They can still come after you and sue you for the remaining amount of the debt. So you don't have any proof or anything that says that this was the arrangement that you had. So I know everybody wants to do their credit fast, but you have to do it efficiently, and you have to do it the right way. And the best way to do that is to send letters in the mail. It takes a long time. You have to send a letter. You got to wait 30 days. You got to wait for the response in the mail. Then you got to send another response. They got to respond back. It could be a 3, 4, 5, 6 month process, but it's the right type of way to make sure you protect yourself and your credit, and also to make sure that you are not getting scammed by some ABC collection agency, okay? Because once your money has been paid and you paid the wrong place, you probably never gonna get your money back, okay? Because 9 times out of 10 they'll say, oh, send us a money order, send us a check, right? Well, what is on the check? When you send a check in, it has your name, it has your address, right? It has a check number, but it also has your checking account and your routing number. So now you're opening yourself up to more issues, because now you've given your checking account information, your routing information to possibly some scammers. You know, so you have to be very careful. I highly recommend sending a dispute in the mail, doing mail correspondence only. Even email can get, you know, a little tricky, but having a letter from them on their company letterhead with the signature of someone of authority at that company is going to hold way more weight than a conversation with somebody that you can't even remember their name. Okay? So if you get a letter in the mail that says they're going to put a collection item or unpaid debt on your credit report, respond. Okay? Do not just be quiet and let the item get on your credit report. Okay? And the second thing is, if the item is already on your credit report, you want to request validation. So you want to send a letter with your name, your address. I would not put my social security number. I would not put my date of birth on there, right? Because that's information they should already have. Just my name and address. I would put the date. I would put the name of the collection agency and their information, dear to whomever this may concern or whatever. And I would ask them for my validation list of things that they need to send to validate that debt. All right. Now, if this process seems like a very complicated process for you, or if you just don't have the time to be writing letters, standing in the post office, getting tracking numbers, waiting 30 days, trying to figure out how to respond back, then definitely check out our website at 123creditconsultants.com, where you can schedule a free credit consultation call with one of our board certified credit consultants. And if we feel that you are the right candidate to join our program, then we'll definitely invite you to join, and you can sign up for us to do the work for you. All right. And if you feel that this is something that you would like to do on your own, then definitely check out the link in our description area for our DIY program that you can sign up for to learn how to do it yourself. All right. But either way, don't tackle this whole process on your own. Save yourself the time, save yourself the money and the headache by getting with a professional like myself. All right. So I hope that was helpful information for anyone that is working on trying to fix their credit and trying to remove negative items from their credit report. Now, of course, we always have a free goodie for you guys, for people who watch the show. And I always like to offer you guys one of my free copies of my Credit Score Booster Guide. The Credit Score Booster Guide has been known to help people boost their credit score anywhere between 50 to 100 points just by downloading the guide and following the steps inside of my free Credit Score Booster Guide. My Booster Guide is pretty much my way of giving back to you guys. All right. So definitely click on the link in the description area to grab your free copy of my Credit Score Booster Guide and schedule a free credit consultation with one of our board certified credit consultants. All right. So I don't have a Ask a Credit Consultant segment for this particular show, but you can always submit your questions to me on Instagram, or you can always submit them to us on our Facebook page, and we'll definitely try to feature your credit questions on one of our shows. All right. So that is pretty much it for today's show. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment below and give us your feedback, your thoughts, or your topics for one of our next shows. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.